Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It's your boy Marvin. We're going to get straight into a video. King Charles III diagnosed with cancer, and Candace Owens is going to be talking about it, and we'll comment as we go.
Sad announcement coming out of Buckingham Palace yesterday. He has been diagnosed with cancer. Now, essentially, the shock announcement dropped, and here is what we know so far. The 75-year-old monarch was diagnosed with a type of cancer. They were not clear about what type of cancer it was. They found it after tests regarding a separate issue following the enlargement of his prostate treatment. And so, yes, they're not saying explicitly that he has prostate cancer. He's traveling back to London, and he's going to start treatment immediately. Now, they have said that he is hopeful about the prognosis. Obviously, you never know if that's true or not. What I would say is that he has suspended all of his public-facing duties, which would, signal to the public that it is quite serious. And we are, of course, wishing him well on this treatment. Something else that was mentioned in the press yesterday was the fact that he immediately called all of his family members, and that we are expecting that Prince Harry is going to fly immediately to London to be by his father's side, as he should. That part,
I think that King Charles, we know that I think he's older than 70, I think. And it's important that family support you in these times and be united. I think that's what he would want to actually get through his illness.
I think the media is hopeful for a reunion, that they will come together. To me personally, wanting to reunite with your family because they are dying is, I don't know how I feel about it. I guess I'll just ask you, how do you feel about that? We watched what happened in this family. We watched how one woman was able to convince, via really an act of witchcraft, her husband to fund the lifestyle that she's always wanted as an A-lister, because she didn't have the talent to turn her into an A-list celebrity. She lunged onto a prince. And
I think that in this incident, I think that he will regret technically walking away from his family, and I think it's coming back to haunt him, and I think he does miss them. But I think the way his wife is so dominant in keeping him away, and she's a bit of an actress, I think it's I think that's damaged forever, especially between him and his brother, I think.
Deluded him into selling his family for profit. That is what Prince Harry did. There's no other way to look at it. He sold his family for profit. It was not about freedom. It was not about finding freedom. It was not about talking about racism and taking down the institution. It was about funding his wife's expensive taste and getting her into the parties that she's always wanted to be in. I want to be best friends with Oprah. I want to be best friends with the elites in Hollywood. I was never invited to these parties as a D-list actress, and you are going to get me there. And she plotted, and she thought about how to do that, and she found an opportunity with the Black Lives Matter movement and the public sentiment at the time to convince people that the barely black-looking she was somehow suffering from racism inside of the institution, so that people wouldn't see actually what we were watching was the narcissistic psychology of a woman who was hell-bent on becoming an A-lister. That's it. It's narcissistic personality disorder. There was a lot of that.
You can see that Harry arrived, but he didn't stay that long. It's as though it was a flying visit. And does Harry feel that he's not part of the family, but he's made himself an outsider, I think. And I think he should have put his foot down with his wife, in that this is my family, and like I said, the heritage as well. He doesn't do a lot for the royal family anymore. those sort of responsibilities had been taken away from him, which is quite sad at the end of the day. But you can see Prince William is absolutely devastated because he's very close to his dad. So it does make you think that as Harry had second reservations at the end of the day, but I think his wife is so dominant that I think things can never be the same again as long as he's with her. This is what I think at the end of the day. I think, look, I don't think she's what I've heard, I don't think she's gonna get on with everyone, but what I do think is that she did blow things up. And like I said, we don't really know the true story of what happened when she was actually living in England, but I think it could have been patched up myself, but that's another story.
Going around Hollywood. And so what I would say to Meghan Markle is to just stay away. Just stay away. I guess at some point in the future, you guys will run out of money because you're not making any money, because you don't have any talents outside of saying horrific things about somebody's father, that person being King Charles. You guys insinuating that he was a racist, somehow getting that leaked in the press by accident by your friend, Omid Scobie, if that's how you even said it, Omid Scobie. Who cares? He's also a jerk, right? Because who would want to be a part of this? Who would want to support a person that was quite literally becoming wealthy by...
You can always tell people, the ones that walk away from family, whether it was for a good reason or whether it was for a bad reason. And we know that Meghan probably done it for a publicity stunt in her eyes at the end of the day, to cause attention, to write books and go on so many shows, and should I say, write documentaries and put it out there for people to see on YouTube and whatnot. At the end of the day, I wouldn't have done that myself, even if I had a bad relationship with a family member. I'd have never done that. I think some things, even if you're angry, you do need to sort of keep it inside. Yes, they earned a lot of money from it at the end of the day, but what now? Now the spotlight's off them at the end of the day. Everything's sort of gone a bit quiet in their life now after all the drama and slacking off. But like I said, I think it could have been dealt with in-house. I don't think she liked staying in England, and she wanted to be back, whether it be Canada or America, and she liked that kind of life.
Selling out their own family. So you have King Charles, who in his late age, at 75 years old, right? He's already outlived the average life expectancy for men, who had to deal with this, being called a racist, having the public speculate that he was a racist because he perhaps made an offhanded comment quickly about, I wonder what color the baby will be. I say that every single time I have a kid. I got some super white looking kids and some darker kids, because that's what happens when you come together as a mixed family. But you villainized him. And in the same way that you villainized the Queen before she died. The two of you, in my view, are a couple that has engaged in types of elder abuse to line your own pockets. Because if it was really about fighting racism, if it was really about finding freedom, you wouldn't have signed a $100 million deal to do it. You would have just said it. Anyway.
Wow. Says it all, really, isn't it? At the end of the day, money is the root sometimes to all evil. I sort of jumped on the bandwagon a bit at the end of the day. Did he say that? Did King Charles say that at the end of the day? But like I said, as more it goes on, you do find the truth out at the end of the day. And I think Meghan and Harry will regret especially Harry. I think he'll regret. I think Meghan Markle wears the boots, and she clouds Harry's mind. Because he seems a little bit of a follower. He's not strong enough to say, no, this is not happening. This is my thoughts.
Anyways, enough about that. Stay away, Meghan. Hey guys,
that's the end of the video. But look, it's one of those. I always think the truth comes out eventually. And like I said, good luck to King Charles in getting better. And I hope he's back to his best soon. And I would probably say that if Meghan Markle does say something at the end of the day, it's definitely just for attention. And I think Harry, I do think he feels a bit lost at the end of the day, and probably regretting what he's said about the Queen, obviously, who passed away, and now his father. But hey, don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment and follow the channel and put your views down, what you actually think of basically Harry and Markle, or who's to blame in your eyes. Thank you. Take care wherever you are in the world.